What is up, guys? Happy October. Today is October 3rd, 2014, and today I've got something pretty cool to show you that, believe it or not, is not fire alarm related. I also wanted to tell you guys that I am a bit pressed for time here. My mom will be picking me up in a couple hours or so. Tomorrow's homecoming, so there's a lot of last minute plans to be made. So I am kind of pressed for time, so let's get this done quick. So, before I show you what the topic of the video is, I'm just going to explain something to you guys very quick. So, for those of you who may have been subscribed to me for a long time, you may know that my dad is an engineer, and he maintains several buildings a few towns over. He does fire alarms, elevators, AC, heat, plumbing. If any of those things go wrong, he can go in and either fix it, or if they have to call in the techs, he'll help fix it. And they'll usually, like every now and then, they'll replace things at his building. And since he's an engineer and I'm his son, he's totally willing to bring me home stuff. So, like half the stuff in my fire alarm collection came from his work, this, that, everything back there. There's a lot of stuff. And then all this stuff here, not these two items here, but all this stuff here I've got for sale, which came from his work. These are all fire alarm panel cards, which plug into a main control panel. I've sold a lot of it except for the cards. I've got 2 strobes for sale. This card and the main control panel I'm keeping, but that's all for sale, just FYI. But sometimes they replace other things that are not fire alarms. And like recently, a building that my dad takes care of, this one I have actually not been to, but they were like having their elevators, they were like modernizing their elevators for some reason. So, yesterday, I got back from school, and my dad came home, and this is what he brought me. That's right. This is an elevator fixture / button panel, whatever you want to call it. As I said, he brought this home for me yesterday, because he just knows how much I'm into elevators and stuff. Let me go get something really quick. I just want to get my only other elevator part, put it beside, and also get my elevator keys. Alright. So, yeah. But this is actually my, this is my first complete elevator part here. It's actually complete. It's got everything. All the bells and whistles and stuff. This was my first elevator part, but it's only a lantern. It's only the lens for a lantern. It's not the full lantern. But this is a Dover part. But this is my first, as I said, this is my first complete elevator part. It's got everything on it. I just told you guys it's got all the bells and whistles. I'm just gonna go over this panel really quickly. We'll start at the bottom. Here you've got the classic emergency stop switch. It's not a key switch. You find these on older elevators. They're the manual pull out. So you pull that and it would stop the elevator. And I believe it also like rings the bell. Push it back in. It's back to run. Here's the bell button. This elevator did only have a door open button, not a door close. So there's your door open. Here's the floor buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They've got brails on them too, as you guys can see. Up here we got the 4 key switches. This is the light switch. That is the fan switch. That is the, what is that? The independent service switch. That's what it is. Then you got the fire service switch here. These all take barrel keys, and that one takes a regular. I think that's a Schindler lock right there. So that's that one takes the Schindler key, and the rest of these actually I'm not sure if the camera will focus in on these, but in the middle of the lock there, these all say Ace on them, which I think that means these are custom locks, which kind of sucks, because that means I will not be able to obtain keys for these locks. I think, I don't know exactly what type of panel this is, but I can pretty much like rule it down to 3 possibilities. It can either be a Montgomery, a Westinghouse, or an EPCO panel. I've seen these fixtures before. They're at 2 elevators in my area, a few towns over from me, and they're both in the Kohl store, store elevators. They've got these fixtures, so I'm fairly familiar with these fixtures. They appear to be Westinghouse, but they could also be Montgomery. These are these fixtures. They're not inverted. These ones actually protrude a little bit. I'm not sure if I can get that. Yeah, not very well, but they've just got a pretty cool feeling to them. They're not the easiest buttons to press. Like, these ones are a bit firmer, but these are still pretty good fixtures. They're not my favorite fixtures out there, but they are good fixtures. I don't think there's a lot more to say about the front. I'll go ahead and give you guys a detailed view of the brails and everything and the buttons. Do this again. Yeah. And I think, again, that looks like a Schindler key to me, and I can kind of verify that. I've got my Schindler H301 key here. It's not the fire key, but it's a Schindler key, and as you guys can see, it slides. It obviously doesn't turn, but it slides in there just fine. So, and just to rule out the possibility of this being any kind of innovation panel, we'll go ahead and stick my Innovation EX513 in the independent service switch and show you guys that this is not the right key. It does, go in there a little bit, of course. It's a barrel key, but it just doesn't turn, so. Yeah, so, and also, if you guys have been curious as to why you haven't been seeing my elevator keys a lot recently, I've just kind of backed off from like using them on elevators. I've realized that it's just, I've just thought about it a little bit, and I've just kind of realized that it's like really not cool to use these keys too much. That's just a word to people out there. It's just I just haven't been using them too much anymore because I've just kind of realized that it's really not cool to use them too much. Since I am not a tech or anything, but I am going to be keeping them just to collect them, kind of just to have them. I'll use one every now and then, but especially the fire keys. I don't think I'm going to be using those again anytime soon, just for safety purposes and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the back of the panel. So, but there you guys go. That's why you guys are probably not going to be seeing the keys being used too much more. Here's the back of the panel. It's kind of dirty from just being mounted on the elevator. I've cleaned it up a bit though. And that's how I found out that was the fan switch. That doesn't look like an F there. This handwriting on the back is embarrassing. I think that says light there, and that word looks like GOTS, but I have no idea. But you guys can see everything, all the back of the switches, all of the terminals, all the contacts and everything. This is really cool. I'm guessing this thing is from the 80s or something, the 70s possibly. It's a shame though, you guys can see there's absolutely no part numbers on this panel at all, but I'll go ahead and show you guys. Yeah, see, there's something on here. You can see a little logo there, but I don't think that's a Westinghouse logo. It kind of looks like it. Am I even getting the panel in on that? Or the camera? No. Got a mess of wires down here. Now, if I press a button on the front, sorry, it's our garage door. Press a button on the front, you guys can actually see. Let's press the 5 button. It's the middle button. Take a look at this. You can see it's kind of hard to do this. Darn it, I'm going to end up breaking this panel. Let's here we go. Take a look at that. Let me the camera focus in. See, you can see it moving in there. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with this panel. I'm going to try to do something, like obviously I don't have an elevator in my house, obviously. I don't have a whole lot of use for this panel besides to keep it for collection purposes. But I am going to try to get, I'm just going to see if for some reason these are like universal keys. That's a universal key. I think, again, that's the Schindler key. But I'm going to see if I can get that key, that fire key, like just for the purpose of using it in this panel. I'm going to see if I can clean it up a bit better. If you take a look at it in the light, it's got a few, I think those are fingerprints there. I tried to clean those up the best I could. And of course it's got your regular stainless steel scratches on it and everything just from being in service on an elevator. But someday I'm going to see if I can try to work with relays and stuff, and I'm going to see if I can make it so when I turn this key, I can tie it into my fire alarm system, so it'll put the 4004 onto trouble or supervisory or something if I turn this key, because in some buildings, if the fire service is activated on the elevator, the fire panel will display a trouble saying that the elevators in fire service. Sometimes, yeah, and mostly it's the opposite way. If a smoke detector in the lobby or the shaft detects smoke, the fire system will go off, but it'll also send the elevators into fire recall. So, and I don't have the hall switch. I'm not sure what happened to the call buttons and the lanterns and everything, but I think that this is good enough. Just having this panel is, it's a really cool something to put it into my room. So I'll give you guys a quick one more quick pressing of all the buttons, so you guys can hear how they sound. That one's it sounds a bit different than some of the others. Yeah, so there you guys go. I thank you for watching this. I think that's about it.